Fat Cell Detox Phase 2. This is the action guide. I'm going to take you by the hand and walk you through this so that you have clarity of the plan of attack for this month. But first, let's cast the vision. Imagine it's 8 weeks from now. Yes, this is a 12-week program. The last 4 weeks was before. But it's 8 weeks from now. And you've done these little things each day that may not seem that powerful, but they are, because they accumulate day after day. These little habits. You're going to feel incredible. 8 weeks from now, your body is bursting with energy. Your body moves with strength, agility, and ease like a panther on the prowl. Your joints are no longer stiff or achy. You feel renewed. Your body is leaner, stronger, and you feel lighter, but more powerful. What happened? How did this all come to be? Well, during this time, you honored your body and all of its cells, trillions of cells with a T, with intelligent movement, nourishment, and you expelled the toxins that were weighing you down and robbing you of the energy that you deserve and that you need to live life on your terms and to serve at your highest level, to have a fulfilling life. Now, if you're willing to follow the plan, then this could be you, my friends. I know many of you are. I'm really amazed by just how motivated, inspired you guys are, but I should not be surprised because you are lions, not lambs. And you take full responsibility for all your actions, everything that happens in your life. Even when it's not your fault, you still know it's your responsibility. So I really honor and respect that about all you. Now, our bodies are constantly inundated by toxins. We're surrounded by them. They are literally everywhere. From the top, there was a study about a year ago that in the Himalayan mountains, they found microplastics. That's amazing to me. Terrifying too. Now, I won't go into all the terrifying details here, but it's time that we learn how to protect our bodies and how to safely remove the toxins that accelerate aging, that fatigue us, and are often at the root of mysterious aches, pains, moods, and illnesses. Now, I will teach you the science of healthy fat loss and detoxification because they go hand in hand. But first, let's go through the plan this month. Now, if you have the PDF in front of you, it'd be great. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm going to explain it. But if you did the program last month, we made some small adjustments. And so I simplified it even more, actually. And so you're going to wake up and you want to embody your North Star. Create a state of gratitude. One of the things I train myself to do, is to say, as soon as I wake up, I have a song that plays. And it's the same song, and it has a message. It's the Beatles, and it goes, in the beginning it goes, love, 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 right? And it reminds me of the most powerful force in the universe. So I don't get caught up in the environment of fear that we live in. And so embody your North Star and then say thank you, thank you, thank you. Stand tall. And then have your morning detox cocktail, which is packed with nutrients and things that will assist. And then what you want to do is probably wait a little bit. Most people do. You don't just jump into your workouts, but depends on the individual. But joyfully crush your training session with the intention of not just challenging your body, but also enjoying it and reminding of yourself of who you really are. Summon the lion, summon the lioness. And what do I mean by that? I've said it so many times, but it can get misinterpreted. Sometimes people think the lion is just like, that's not what it is. You see, at any given moment, we have the love-based version of us. That's our soul, our spirit. That's who we were made to be. That's our essence. Love generates more energy than it utilizes. So no one's ever been in states of love-based emotion like gratitude, joy, appreciation, said, I'm so tired, or life sucks. No, they don't even think things are impossible from that place. That's what's great about humans. That's what's great about us. We can cultivate these states of love-based emotion, and it could be courage. Just the courage to take action, the courage to get up. Some days life is so hard, it takes courage just to get out of bed, right? But there's other times where we feel unstoppable. And that can be trained. That can be summoned at will. And that is really what we're here for. to learn who we really are and how to call upon that part of us when needed most, but just any time, so that we can live from this place where life is fulfilling, where we can serve at the highest level, where we have great ideas and we're creative and we're enjoying the process of life itself. So training is the reminder. It's the daily ritual for connecting to your highest and best self. Now, when that becomes your purpose for training, why would you ever miss a training session? What is more important than that? It literally makes you better at everything in life. If you really love and appreciate the people that you serve and your family and friends, this is what you do, not just for you, but for them and the world. If everyone did this, imagine what the world would be like. If everyone lived in love-based emotional states, or at least had the skills to shift, everyone's gonna have some fear, and fear is awesome because it prevents us from falling off of cliffs. It prevents us from overreacting and doing super stupid things sometimes, right? Taking unnecessary risk. But it can also freeze us. And if we don't train fear, it overreacts and it starts to take over every aspect of our lives. And we live in this impossible world of limitation and this world of blaming other people or thinking you're not worthy of life's rewards. That fear is the great destroyer. Love is the great creator. Fear uses more energy than you have. So if you live in fear, what happens? If you're frustrated, irritated, sad, depressed, or you feel shame, what happens? What's life like? Well, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're fatigued. That's really where energy comes from. What you eat matters, but you could use willpower and override it. I've seen people do that many times. I've done it many times. I'm sure you have too. When called upon, and it's a must, you figure it out. But there's no reason. Using will is exhausting, and eventually it burns out, and then you just kind of hide away and avoid things until you can regenerate again. Now, I know I'm getting a little off the detox pathway, but training is a huge part of detoxification, and a lot of times people don't correlate these things. We can have an emotional detoxification too. And I won't go into the details of that, but creating our state of being. So if you want to have a great life, if you want to be healthy, strong, vital, and really reverse aging, or at least mitigate the effects of aging, or prevent accelerated aging, which is what most people are living in accelerated aging states. Think being, doing, feeling, right? The dabblers of the world base everything on how they feel. So when something gets tough, they're out of there. They're going to either make up an excuse or blame someone, like, oh, that wasn't for me because of this, or that guy's a criminal, right? The lamb comes out and starts talking smack, right? But that's when we let feelings dictate our decisions, our behavior, our actions. That is a recipe for suffering. Now think of doing. Now, most of the people in this world at some time or currently are focused on doing things. So they ask the question, like, what do I need to do? What do I need? Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And these are committed achievers. These are good people. And I'm saying that because that was me most of my life. And I know a lot of you are too, and this is why we get along. Now, none of these are wrong. There's choices. And if we want to live our best life, we need to understand these stages. Because in one area of your life, you could be dabbling and letting feeling dictate. Like when I play a guitar or something, I goof around. I have no interest in being great at it, right? But if I wanted to, letting my feelings do it, and I just do it when I feel like it, I'm never going to get good at it, probably, right? Because of that, until I change this. Now, if I became a committed achiever, I would practice day and night, but I probably wouldn't do it intelligently. I would just overdo it, right? Because the committed achiever values doing, action. But just because you're busy doesn't mean you're making progress. And a lot of times the committed achiever gets addicted to doing things, which eventually leads to exhaustion and burnout. And then we muster up our resources again, and then we go again. But there's a lot of suffering involved because the underlying belief, the limitation, is that we're not enough unless we're doing something, unless we're helping, unless we're contributing. But that's just a belief, and it's not true. The highest level, where we have both achievement, victory, triumph, but also fulfillment, where it makes a difference, that it's our beingness, our state of being. So you can do something, and the best example I can think of this is when I was a kid. My godparents lived across the street, and I won't say their names. Well, they're dead. So my uncle Victor and his wife Debbie, and so whatever. So, but they were married for 40-something years. The last time I counted, but they would get in these insane fights, even when I was a little kid, like right in front of me and my sister. And they would always say, like, oh, I'm still here, ain't I? You don't even love me. I'm still here, ain't I? But what it was, hey, I'm a committed achiever. I'm here, but I'm not going to be my best when I'm here. So it's not just about showing up and doing the work. It's about enjoying the process as well. It's about showing up in a beautiful state as being, as Tony Robbins would say, right? And so we want to be focused on this higher level when we go into any program, and it is the devoted and humble student of self-mastery. Self-mastery is the gateway to living greatly. Because there are 3 pillars of creation. There's only really 3 things that we have control over in the world. 1, your thoughts. This includes your beliefs. Beliefs are automated thoughts. Your feelings or emotional states of being, and our actions and inactions. So thoughts, emotions, actions. And so I believe we're all here to master those 3 pillars of creation, because from that place, we can serve at the highest level, which is how we feel fulfilled, by making a difference in the lives of those we love, appreciate, and serve. So that was the big introduction there. That is the state of being. You want to honor the body. Don't judge your body. Appreciate what you have and where you stand today, and then do the little things each day that will improve it. So burn off extra fat if you have it. Add some lean muscle so you have even more energy, more strength, more endurance. Get that sleep so your body can clean out the brain through something called lymphatic drainage, and take short-term memory, short-term information, things you learn today, and put it in the long-term memory so you have access to it whenever you need it. Those are just a couple of things that happens during sleep. So the first step, though, is to be, then do, and then you have. So let's look at the fuel up routine. So during this month, we're going to do this eating plan. If you want to, you can do whatever you want, of course, but this is the recommendation. So you wake up, and then you train, and then you eat. So let's say you wake up at 6 a.m., just as an example. And then you have you get in the state of gratitude, you hydrate, you can have your daily detox, morning detox cocktail. Then wait a little bit, and then joyfully crush your training session. Make sure you log your workout too. That's part of it. That's part of the mental conditioning. Very important. Then you're going to have your post-training shake. So let's say your post-training shake's around 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. Or even it could be early. It could be 8:30 a.m., right? So let's say you woke up and then you started training at 7:30. And then after you work out, you have your post-training protein shake. And if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the days you do strength training, resistance training, you're also going to have some good carbohydrates to replenish your carbohydrate stores, your glycogen stores. And so you're going to have your post-training protein shake with berries or an apple. And those are chosen for specific reasons. They do have nutrients to support detoxification, among many other things. And then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're going to have a fuel meal. So say you had your post-training workout shake at 8:30 a.m. Now around noon, you could have your fuel meal, which could be the big salad. So you could have, or let's say it's, we have a whole list of them on here, but I'll tell you what I've been having. I've been having potatoes and chicken and a bunch of broccoli sprouts. So that's been my lunch pretty much every day on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I say every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at that same time at lunch, I'm having a fire meal. So I just cut out the potatoes at that time. That's the difference. And so on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, you're going to have your shake. Then you're going to have a fuel meal, which is protein, carbs, and vegetables. Then you're going to do that again. And then your last meal of the day, you're going to have a fire meal. So that's protein and vegetables. Got it? Now on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, these are the days you're doing cardiovascular conditioning. So these days, we're actually going to eat fewer calories by reducing carbohydrate intake so that we can go into fat stores even more. So you'll have a post-training shake after you train, but you don't need carbohydrates on this day because cardio is different than resistance training. You're going to use more carbohydrates when you do resistance training. And then you're going to have fire meals all day on those cardio days. It's that simple. Now, you're probably wondering like, hey, do I have to eat perfect all the time? No, of course not. Now here, during this stage, I built in 2 free meals and I put them on Wednesday and Saturday. And that's strategic, but you could do them anytime you want. So if there's a birthday party and someone makes a cake or something and if they made it with love, enjoy it. Don't be weird, right? And so you don't have to be perfect. Just control the serving sizes. Eat mindfully so that you're not just shoveling in and eating way more than you need. Really enjoy your food, even the healthy food. Sounds crazy, I know, right? So you're gonna have a free meal on, according to this, again, for meal 3 on Wednesday and Saturday. Now the reason we have one on Saturday is not just because it's Saturday, but on Sunday, I'm gonna invite you to do a 24-hour fast. Now this is gonna accelerate fat loss because of there's not eating calories. Obviously, you're not gonna lose muscle or anything. But this teaches you some things. There are obvious health benefits. However, this is more about mental conditioning, about learning to know what real hunger is compared to emotional hunger or just being bored, right? So let's say you have your final meal on Saturday at, say, 6 p.m., just making that up. You will have one meal on Sunday at about 24 hours or more after that. So it could be 6 p.m. or later. But during the day, you want to manage your state of being. You don't want to suffer. If you suffer during this, you have failed. The goal is not just to do it, it's to be it. To be in love-based emotional states, even when you don't have food for a little bit. This is only 24 hours, but we have been conditioned to eat so often and food being so readily available that if there was a famine or something, most of the world would be screwed because they don't have the mindset to not eat for 24 hours. So while there are a bunch of health benefits to this, that's not what the priority here. The priority is learn how to master your mind so that you eat mindfully, but when you don't eat, you're also mindful. So there's some things to assist during this time, like have a cup of dandelion tea. This supports the liver, also helps with water balance, and also you can sip on bone or vegetable broth. You want to make sure there's salt in it because the sodium will assist. You could also have green tea or organic coffee, and these are tools. They all contain nutrients that will assist. So you can do those things, but don't rely on them. Manage your state first through breath, through movement, and through focus, all right? And then 24 or more hours after that Saturday meal, you do the fast, you do the best you can within enjoying the process. This is a great day to do things for other people, to try, like ask yourself, who can I light up today? Who can I romance today? And it may be your dog. It may be your someone in your direct family, or it could be a stranger. Like I love going through drive-thrus and just leaving a huge tip, and they don't even know it. I just give them money. I say keep the change, and I drive off, right? I love doing that. It gives me energy. It's selfish, actually, because I'm doing it for myself. I love doing it for them, but it makes me feel great, so I do that. But just some ideas. This is more than just fasting to lose fat and remove toxins. This is about self-mastery. That's what that day is about. Really take note. Be aware of what you're experiencing that day and strive to improve this over the next 4 weeks. Got it? And so that's the protocol. Now, if we're looking at the whole day again, just as a review, you want to know when you're eating. When are you planning to wake up? When are you planning to go to sleep? When are you planning to train? When are you scheduled to eat? I would schedule your meals. If you have trouble and you miss meals a lot, schedule them. Not in a weird, super strict way, but just to honor God's temple. You have been blessed with an able body and an able mind. And I suggest you honor it. And so it's really important during this time that you manage your state of being. Another thing that's really important is hydration. Hydration has a profound effect on every aspect of your health. Like if you're just 1% off on your hydration status, if slightly dehydrated, your total body strength decreases by about 10%. How's your ability to hold your focus on something at that stage? Imagine that if it reduces your total body strength by that much. At 2%, it's been shown that we have trouble doing math. If you're an accountant, you better make sure you're hydrated. If you're my accountant especially. And so just some things you can drink during this time. Herbal teas, they're non-caffeinated too, but they have a lot of antioxidants in it, which can support detoxification. And so the ones that are really effective are honeybush tea, dandelion tea, like I mentioned before, rooibos, I think that's how you pronounce it. You can have chicory root tea, which is like a coffee alternative, but has a lot of fiber in it as well, so it fills you up. Green tea or matcha. And if you want to sweeten anything, you can use stevia or xylitol. Those are the go-tos that are readily available. Okay, now we also added some different recommended protein powders because it's good to switch it up. So like while Whey Cool Protein from Designs for Health is my go-to, I'll use that on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then I'll use another protein, like there's one called Pure Paleo, which is a bone broth protein. I really enjoy that. Or I'll have organic Pure P Plus, which has greens in it as well. So I'll have that on the cardio days. But I switch it because if you do one protein or one food all the time, you can develop sensitivities. And so it's kind of like a cool way the body has adapted to make sure that we're getting our nutrients, because different foods have different nutrient profiles. So if we eat the same foods all the time, we're gonna get some nutrients, but not others. That's why we want to switch up our vegetables. We want to switch up all our food sources. All right, so the rest of the PDF has a bunch of examples of meals and stuff. Now, you don't have to eat these exact meals. These are just to give you an idea. Because as you have more examples and you live it, you start to get more creative and you can figure out, okay, now I'm traveling, I'm at a restaurant, what can I eat? And you've seen all these examples so many times, you've experimented with different things. And so now you're well equipped no matter what life throws your way. Now we added 2 recipes. One's blueberry millet muffins, and thank you, Andrea De Leon, for all your help in making all these things. Now, these are blueberry millet muffins. Millet is very nutrient dense, and it's often used as part of detoxification protocol. I won't go into all the specifics of it because I don't want this to go too long, but that's one thing. Then there's organic applesauce. This is unsweetened applesauce. Then there is blueberries, which have a ton of antioxidants and fibers. Bananas have a bunch of potassium in it. Cinnamon, a very common deficiency when we do labs, is chromium deficiency. Having an organic cinnamon each day, or 3-4 times a week, will help get more chromium in your diet. And so these millet muffins are fuel meals. So what I usually do is I'll have these with a protein shake. So like my mid-afternoon meal around 3-4 o'clock, I'll have like 3 millet muffins with my protein shake. And I just mix my protein shake in water because I just like to pound it. And so that's that. And the other recipe is taco lettuce wraps. These things are awesome. Now, this is a really simple recipe, but the things I really want you to pay attention, the ingredients that really play effect in detoxification, broccoli sprouts and or microgreens. So microgreens, for instance, have 5 times the vitamins of the full-grown version. So if you have like a head of broccoli, but you have broccoli microgreens or broccoli sprouts, you have it's much more nutrient dense. Now cilantro's in this. Cilantro binds to heavy metals. How cool is that? And it tastes great. Avocado has a ton of potassium and fiber in it, and it tastes great, right? And organic cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil has more research behind it. I won't go into it here, but it's just a food I think almost everyone should have on a regular basis. Okay, so that's that. And there's more samples in it. Now there's one other thing I want to change. We'll learn through examples by living it. And so there's a graphic on here where it shows like the palm position. Now, if you measure and weigh your food, I love it. That's the best way to do it, but that's not something we're going to do every day the rest of our lives. So we need different methods. So the hand portioning method is effective. And it gets more effective the more you use it, because we want to have some way of managing the amount of food we eat, because that is the number one factor in nutrition, the amount of food you eat. And so on here, before we were telling the men to have 2 palms of protein and the women have 1 palm of protein. That's not enough. So we are increasing this to 3 palms of protein for the men and 2 palms of protein for the ladies. Also, vegetables. Vegetables have a lot of micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. And so you can have as much as you want of vegetables. You really don't absorb the calories from it because it's mainly fiber. So we want to have the men having 3 fistfuls of vegetables at each meal, and women at least 2. Now you can have more, so if you're getting hungry or something like that, add more vegetables or add more protein. But don't increase the other things, the high octane carbs and the fats, okay? So those were the 2 major changes. So men, when you eat a meal, you're gonna have 3 palms of protein, which is probably 8 to 10 ounces for most people. Women, you're gonna have 2 palms of protein. Men, for vegetables, 3 fist-sized portions of vegetables. Women, 2 fist-sized servings of vegetables. And then when you're having a fuel meal and you're eating carbs, high-octane carbs, men, you will have 2 handfuls, like if you cup your hand, that amount, okay? Women, you'll have 1. And then with fats, we use our thumb for that. So if this is unclear, make sure you look at the graphic, because it just makes it super clear. And so like if you're gonna have almonds or avocado, it's like 1/4 of an avocado. It's the size of a thumb. And you would just line it up, okay? Now that's just a simple way. We need consistency in the amount of food you eat. Because if we know, hey, usually I was like, this is how we learned last month. It's like, hey, I'm just, my strength is going down. I'm not getting stronger in the 2nd week of the program. And I'm like, all right, what are you doing? Oh, I'm having 2 palms of protein. I'm like, all right, increase it to 3. And that changed everything. Now the body has the raw materials to rebuild and repair, and we're back at it. Make sense? All right, my friends, there's also a grocery list on here, all this stuff. Now, if you're taking any medication or anything, working with a doctor, always run this stuff by them. It's good to have a team. And sometimes doctors don't know what they're talking about when it comes to nutrition, because that's not part of it. Sometimes they do. Just know that's your discretion. Never allow someone to be an authority over your health. You are the authority of your health. It's your body. When things go wrong, it's not gonna bother them at all. And I'm not saying they don't care. I'm just saying they're not gonna understand it or feel it. It's your body. You need to take command of it. You need to experiment. You need to be aware of these things. And you are. That's why you're here. And I commend you for that, my friends. If you have any question on this, just shoot me a message in the app. And as always, I love, appreciate, and respect you so much for being here and really living your life in a way that makes a difference to us all. Thank you. Lions, not lambs. You tap into the real you, but you have to retrain yourself. The way you retrain yourself is you wake your ass up in the morning and you say,
I am here for a reason and a purpose. And it's bigger than my moods. It's bigger than the difficulties of the day. I am here to live like a lion, not the fear of a lamb.